Okay, so we're done with that dashboard. Any questions with that one? So that's a vertical one where the tables are stacked on top of each other, right? We're going to do one where the tables get wider. And this is a more complex dashboard. This is a more complex dashboard we're going to do now. So what you want to do is you want to open up Power BI Desktop again. Man, this is about, I guess maybe I was a little overconfident with or overly aggressive with what we're going to cover tonight. But this is good. We're going at a nice slow pace, right?
We had a few detours though.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
I was one of them too. I put that garbage in that file and I got obsessed with it, right? And then my mouse wouldn't work right. It just kept malfunctioning. Okay, so now we're going to build the other. So I'm going to go ahead and save it first. I'm going to save it in the other download folder, the real estate one. So this is a pretty cool one because it does a lot of joins, right? That one we only did one join. It did a union. The union is stacking. The joins makes it wider, right? So this one we're going to call real estate. And we're going to save it in the real estate folder. Okay. And we can get the data here, but I'm going to just go up here to get data and then more. And this one has 2 Excel files, right? So we should have just clicked on Excel there, but it's all right. If you click Excel here, it takes just as long to open. Because again, Power BI Desktop is a massive program, and it just seems like it gets slower and slower and slower because they keep adding things to it. I mean, they got R and Python things. They have R and Python within it. You can do like Python graphs or something. There it is. So we're just going to click Excel and then click Connect. Again, these are source files, right? These are source files. So these need to be in a protected folder, so that when you list a new house, this table gets updated, or when you sell a house, this one gets updated. So we're going to do the listing table first, I think, if I remember right. I already forgot which table I'm bringing in. I think it's the listing table. Okay, then remember back in Access, we had to import those we had to import them individually in Access. Here, it would be nice if it was like select all, right? But you have to click them all. And then you want to click transform data. Does everybody have that? You just click on all of those and you click transform data. And the Power BI query editor will open up.
After you've already done all of this, let's say you've modeled it, what's the best way to get back into the query editor?
Oh, just transform data. Right here, transform data.
Ah, cool.
Right there. Okay, so what we want to do is we'll do this later. We'll make sure the data types are right later on. Let's go ahead and get the other table. We'll get the other table, new source, Excel. And then we're going to click on home sales. And this one has 2 tables. It's got an agent table, which has commissions. So we're going to have to calculate the commissions of the agents, and then the sales table. We're going to have to eventually multiply the sale price times the commission, right? And notice we got agent ID as our primary key. And then we got property ID, sales ID, and agent ID. We got 3 primary keys here, right? And then hit OK. All right. Now let's just go through and double check our data types. Anything that ends in ID is fine with a whole number, right? So we have 14 employees. You can think of this as our Westminster ID cards, right? And this is the same thing, but for our office numbers. And we have 7 offices. 3 employees work in office 7. 1 employee works in office 11. or sorry, Office 6. 1 works in Office 5, 4 work in Office 4, 2 work in Office 3, et cetera, right? And then contact, we have the name of the owner, right? Last name, first name, their telephone number, and those should all be text, right? And my students made up this data set, but it's really good because it's a really complex model. And then that's fine for contact ID, right? And then you got the employee table. Again, this is the employee number, and this is their first names and last names, right? And that's all fine. Has connects the property table to the contact table, right? So it connects the property table to the contact table. List connects the property table to the office table, right? And then here are the office names. We have an office downtown. We have an office in Sugar House. We have 2 in West Valley. And then we have 1 in St. George, 1 in Denver, 1 in Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby. And then the owner has first name, last name, and an owner ID. Owns has 2 primary keys. And then this is the percent owns. We're going to change that to percentage. Why is it either 100% or 50%? Well,
It's either your partner or you
married.
own it outright. Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then we got the property table. Oh, we got some junk tables out here, right? So we need to delete. Let's see. Let's just remove it. Let's just cancel, delete, remove, and then remove. Sometimes when you open up an Excel file, you that probably happened because somebody opens the source file and types in the stuff manually. In this office, these are probably entered manually by office workers, right? And when you hit enter, or you go to the right and you click on a cell that's empty, that column is now active, right? So you want to make sure that there's no junk columns or rows, right?
Those ones actually had values in them because I looked through it. Like it was like 1 cell in each one had like a random number.
Okay, yeah, we want to just get rid of those. And then agents, the commission.
did we need to change the price list to?
Oh yeah. So commission should be percentage. That's commission rate. Property, everything looks good, except zip code needs to be what? Next. And then list price needs to be dollars, fixed decimal. Okay. And that's all good there. And property is our main table. Agents, everything looks good here. Make sure commission is percent. And then sales. Sale price is in dollars. So you can imagine somebody in the office having to fill out these tables, right? Updating them every time something happens. Month sold should be a text. And then all those should be primary keys, right? Now, before we go, we have to do a query. We have to connect sales. We don't want to delete sales, right? We don't want to alter the sales table, but we want to connect sales to agents, right? We also may want to connect sales to owner, right? We want to track, I get emails from my realtor that sold me our downtown condo and then sold me this current condo we live in. So we want to connect sales to owner, and we want to connect sales to agent. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate sales twice. Whoops, I didn't want to delete it. I want to duplicate it. Okay, and then we're going to rename this one. We're going to rename this one agent commissions. Okay. And we're going to rename this one owner portion price. Okay. This one is a more complex query. We have to connect, which is the sales table here, right? We got to connect the sales table to owner and owns, right? Y'all see that? We only have to connect this sales table, this copy of the sales table to agents here. So we'll do this one first. So this is different than Access, right? In Access, you click query, and then you drag the tables in, and they were connected because you built the model already, right? We're gonna build the model later, right? So here we're gonna do the query by taking this copy of sales and modifying it. So we're gonna click on combine here. If you got it maximized, it'll just say merge queries, and it'll be under the combine area, right? But if you have it not maximized, it'll just say combine. So you want to click on merge queries. So we're going to do some merges, some joins. So this is the SQL part, right? This is the data blending. Okay, so this is agent commissions, right? And this is a sales table, right? So what other table do we want? We want the commission table, right? Agent commissions. Oh, wait, we already got that one. We want the agents table, right? And notice we have an agent ID here. So you want to click on the agent ID, and then what do you want to do up here?
Click on the agent ID.
Exactly. Now, this is drawing the line from agent ID to agent ID, right? Y'all see that? And then we're going to do an inner join. We're going to do an inner join. We don't want any empty rows. We don't want rows with empty stuff in it, right?
Is that the inner only?
Inner only matching rows, yeah.
Okay.
We don't want, I mean, if there's an agent, well, anyways, we don't want any empty rows. We don't want any rows with empty stuff in it. So you do this, and it's the restrictive join, right? And then you click OK. All right, so what do we do with that thing right there? Now that we're Power BI gods, what do we do with that?
Expand it.
Expand it, right? And well, we don't need agent ID, right? Because we already have agent ID. So we'll unclick that. But we need first name of agent and last name of agent, and we need their commission rate, right? So we'll go ahead and hit OK.
What would aggregate do? Just
What's
curious. What would aggregate do? Just curious.
Where's aggregate at?
So we went to expand, but there's another option for aggregate. So I was just curious what that would do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I'd do, it would smash it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would smash it down like some stuff, right? We don't want that. We want it expanded. Oh, make sure you don't click on that right there. So make sure that's unclicked, and then you can unclick agent ID. Because we need first name, last name, and commission. Okay. All right. So what do we want to do with these two columns? What do we want to do with these two columns here?
How do you unclick that stuff if you already clicked it with that?
Just you could actually just exit and then just go back here and then just redo it and just uncheck the stuff. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Awesome. So I like this because you can go back in time. You can check it out, right? You can see what you did in the past. You can do what you can't do in reality, go back in time. You can go into the future if you find a black hole in orbit, right? Or if you fly at the speed of light. Okay, so what do we want to do with these two columns?
Delete.
We're going to multiply them, right? So what are we going to need? What are we going to need? We're going to need a new column, right? See that? Add a column, custom column. You guys getting the feel for it? It's kind of cool, isn't it? It's really intuitive. So here we're going to call it capital commission. We're going to call it capital commission. This will be a dollar value, right? How do we calculate the commission? Sale price times what? Commission, right? That's pretty easy, right? And of course, we want to round it, right? We want to round it. And remember, we got to do number dot round, right? So it's just commission times sale price, right? And then we round it to 2 decimal places. And there's no syntax error, so we can hit OK. Now, do we need the commission column anymore? We don't need the commission column anymore, do we? We're going to remove it. We want the last name and the first name because we want to know how much to pay them, right? We don't need the sale price anymore. We can remove that. We want the month sold because we're gonna do a slicer on month sold. Do we need any of this stuff? We don't need any of this stuff here. We're gonna remove all the IDs. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a slicer based on month sold. So you want month sold, first name of agent, last name of agent, and then your commission rate should be what? What data type? Or your commission should be what data type? Should be dollars, right? Because remember, that is the commission percentage times the sale of the home, right? Right? And then I'm going to rename it. I'm going to get rid of that .1. Okay. That's a query that we didn't access, but we just did it differently, didn't we? We have a join, an inner join, and we selected the columns we want after we multiplied commission times sale price, right? So that one's done. Now, owner portion of price is a 3-level, it's got 3 tables in it. We got the sales table, and we want to connect that to what? We got agent ID, sales ID, and owner property ID, right? If I click on the owns table, what property or what primary keys do I have? I have owner ID, right? And I click on the owner, I have owner ID, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this sales table to the owns table. I'm going to connect those two first. Okay, then I'll connect that to the owner table, right? The owns table is a linked table. It's got 2 primary keys. It connects property to owner, and it connects owner to owner price. So owner price is the sales table. I'm gonna click on home. Then I'm gonna click on combine and merge queries. You either click on combine and then merge queries, or you can click on merge queries, right? My window's not maximized. Okay, so I'm gonna click on owns, the link table to owner. And notice I can click on, I'm gonna click on property ID and property ID. I don't have owner ID up here, right? Yeah, I don't have owner ID up here. I have property ID and property ID. Okay, again, we don't want any empty rows, so we're gonna click on an inner only matching rows. Everybody with me? We're all good? So we're drawing a line from property ID and we're dropping it on property ID, right? That's all we can do here. Okay. And then you click OK. All right, then what do we do here?
Expand.
Expand, right? And we don't need property ID anymore, right? We need owner ID though, right? Because we have to connect this table, this query to the owner table. So we need that, right? And we need percent owned. Okay. So now we need to connect this query, this 2-table query. We need to connect it to the owner table, right? So again, we click combine, or we just click merge queries. If we click combine, then we got to click on merge queries. And now we need what? The owner table, right? So now we have the owner ID and owner ID. See that? What do you think we're going to do with sale price and percent owned? What do we want to do with those two? We're going to multiply them together, right? Eventually. And then you want to check inner join because you don't want any empty rows in either the left table or the right table. Okay, and then what are we going to do?
Expand.
Yeah, I was going to sing it too. Okay, we don't need the owner ID, right? We want to click that. We want the first name and last name of the owner. Okay, you got that? Now, what else don't we need? We don't need property ID anymore. We don't need sales ID anymore. We don't need agent ID anymore. We want months sold because we're gonna create a slicer. We need the sale price. We don't need owner ID. We need sale price and percent owned. Then we need first name and the last name. What are we gonna do with these two?
Multiply,
Multiply. So we need a new what?
column.
Exactly. Need a new column. You want to do the new column here if you want to delete the columns that was used to create the new column, right? You want to add a column in Power BI Desktop proper if you want to just create a new column and not delete anything, right? So that's why we create columns here, or we create columns in Power BI Desktop. So we're going to click on create or add column, custom column. And then we're going to call this what? Owner. We're going to call this owner price. Right? And then what we're going to do, we're going to multiply sale price times percent owned. And again, we want to round it to 2 decimal places, right? So number dot round. What do you think of this? What do you guys think of this program? Pretty slick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. How does it compare to Tableau? I mean, what do you think? I like this one better because I started using it.
Yeah, so what it does is it really combines an ETL with a visualization. That's where Tableau really sucks. Is you can do data blending in Tableau, but it has to render that data right before it visualizes it, and so it's really slow. So a lot of the data blending we do it in Alteryx, and then we save to like a Postgres server before we visualize it.
Well, you know, the thing about this Power BI Desktop is it's basically Access. Access is like my old minivan that went up the Parks of the Hill last summer, and it developed a knocking noise. It was a 2006, so we had to basically scrap it. I was going to fix a 2006 minivan. So Access is like that 2006 minivan that we scrapped this summer.
Yep.
But Power BI Desktop is like a Ferrari version of Access, right? And that's why I like it so much. Okay, so we can hit OK now, right? Now, once we have the owner price, we change this data type to fixed decimal. And we don't need percent owned and sale price anymore, do we? We don't need that anymore. So we're going to remove it. That's why you want to create columns in Power BI Query Editor. If you're going to create a column in Power BI Query Editor, you're going to delete the columns that you use to create it, right? If you want to if you don't want to delete columns, you can just make the new columns in Power BI Desktop. Okay, I think we're done. So we can go to Home, and we can click Close and Apply. And the thing about Power BI Desktop, it tries to save you time by connecting the tables for you, but sometimes it just messes things up. It's smart, but it's not that smart. We still need a human to run Power BI Desktop. You got to remember the property table is the main table, so it's going to be the sun, and the other tables are going to be branched out from it.
So here's a question. So if you create a custom column, so I walked through the steps, and in the instructions and didn't have you round it. So when I go back to that add custom column step.
Yeah, you can go right here.
So
just transfer them, and you can go right here to round. Like owner price, add a column, you can just click on add a custom column.
I did that, and then it threw an error.
Yeah, you should just throw a number dot round right there with a comma.
Yeah, that's what I did, and then it gives me an error when I click to my last step to see what it looks like now.
Huh.
It says the column Oh.
Let me delete it.
Well, what I did too is I also changed the name because the instructions said call it owner portion price.
Oh, well, you can call it owner price. You can call it either whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just change the name back and that maybe will solve it.
Yeah, that might do it. So if you click on added column and then you do a round.
Yeah. I think the error is around changing the name.
Yeah. Then you probably messed up the later step, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll figure it out.
Yeah. And then, let me try doing this. Owner price X. Yeah.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. So I'll just go back to here and I'll just change it back to what it was. You can call it Bill if you want.
I like Ted better.
Yeah, Ted from How I Met Your Mother.
I was saying Bill and Ted from Bill and Ted.
Oh, Bill and Ted. Yeah. Okay, so close and apply. And then now, if you click on this model here, you're going to see all kinds of stuff, dudes. Okay, owner portion price, agents, sales. I'm going to put sales next to property because they're kind of my two main tables, right? I'm going to delete this.
How did you zoom out?
Oh, right down here at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm going to put the long branch. The long branch has list to office to assigned and then employee. I like to see the bend. And then I'm going to put owns and owner down here. Whoops. Then I'm going to put has and contact right here. So I got 3 branches over here. And since my main table is property, I want to delete these. I want them connected to the property table. Sometimes it'll connect a table twice. So I want to move this over here like that. I'm going to put this here.
Do we need to be doing this?
Yeah.
I apologize. It's just so small. I'm having a hard time following.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the other table. I thought I had one more table. Yeah, I'm trying to make it so I can fit it in there.
You're missing. You are missing a table.
Where's my missing table at?
Oh no, you're fine. It's just your agent commissions is connected to agent. It should be connected to sales.
Commission, first name, last month sold should be down here. Yeah, I don't want this right here. I got first name to first name. That I don't want that. So I want to delete that. Okay, and then I'm going to put this up here like this. And agent ID to agent ID is fine. Okay, let me zoom it in a little bit more.
Tristan, there's also a screenshot of this in the instructions. That's pretty easy to see.
Yeah, there's a screenshot, yeah. And then I want to connect has to property. So these two tables are connected by contact ID, right? And these two tables are connected by owner ID. So I want to connect property to has with the property ID to property ID. Okay, then you double click. And then I want to connect property ID to property ID. And then you click to make sure it's connected properly. And then here I want property ID to property ID. And then here I want property ID to property ID. This is how I have it in the instructions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do the arrows indicate on the lines between?
Well, it looks like this asterisk means many and many to one.
Mm. But then like I have some lines that don't have like the arrows.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it a matter of zooming?
I don't know.
That's weird. I've always seen arrows. So this one you got to go month to month. And it's going to ask for a many to many relationship, many to many.
Yeah, no, it's not a zooming in
Okay.
thing.
It might be a data type thing.
Yeah. I tied all the data types to the instructions.
Okay. We can double check them. Does everybody have the model built right? See, when it's a one-to-one kind of thing, when it's approximately one-to-one, you have a double arrow. Or when it's a many-to-many, it's a double arrow, right? When it's one-to-many, it looks like it's feeding this table, right? This is a one-to-one. That's weird. Because there's not a lot of office IDs. Oh, no, yeah, that's one-to-one because there's a lot of property IDs, right? So that's a one-to-one. And then there's a lot of property IDs, but there's not a lot of offices, right? So that's a one-to-many. And there's more employees than offices, so that's a one-to-many. And then there's an employee ID per first name, last name of employee. Did you ever get that connected like that? So it's a pretty complex one, right? And what this does, it makes the table really wide. So this is making the result of this is a really wide table, right? Which we're not going to view, right? We're not going to view it. But this essentially makes a really wide table. Whereas the previous one made a really long table, right? The previous one was a union model, where this one's a join model, right? The more joins you have, the wider the ultimate table is, right? If I could print this, it would be a wide table, right? A wide table. Any questions on that? And if you want, you can go through and you can double check the data type over here. See that? First name, last name should be text. Employee ID should be whole number, whole number, whole number, whole number, office name, text, whole number, whole number, whole number, text, 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 whole number, text, text, whole number, percentage. We'll change this to percentage. Huh. That's weird. Maybe down here. Percentage. And then 2 decimal places is good. Property ID, whole number. And then in our property table, our address is a text, city's a text, list price is currency with 2 decimal places. And then property ID is a whole number, state is a text, zip code is text. Agent ID is a whole number, commission is, what was that? That's the commission rate, right? So that's percentage. That's not the commission. That's the commission rate. Then text. Agent ID, whole number, month sold, text. Property ID, whole number, sale price, fixed decimal, currency, 2 decimal places. And then sales ID is a whole number. First name text, last name text, month sold text, owner portion of, or owner price, or owner portion of price, currency, and then 2 decimal places. And then agent commission. Commission is dollars, 2 decimal places. And then first name, last name, text, and month sold text. So we're ready to make the dashboard. We're ready to make the dashboard now. Okay. Did I lose anybody? Hope I didn't lose you. I'm starting to run out of gas, but I could do this on an empty tank for another couple hours. I'm that sick. I'm not sick, seriously. I could do this for 2 more hours on an empty tank. I might get a little loose though, which might not be good because I am on video. And you know, cancel culture, right? I might get canceled for saying something loose. Right.
Your filter's coming on when you get tired.
Oh yeah. Well, when you're really tired, I used to drink heavily in the Navy. And when you're really tired, it actually makes you feel like you're drunk, right?
You're delirious, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. There's sometimes where I've been really tired and I'm like, am I drunk? I'm in class, just exhausted near the end of the semester. I got migraines from all the coffee I'm drinking. I've had to quit coffee like 15 times since 2015. Oh, man. Okay, we ready for the model? Are we ready for the dashboard? We don't have to build any. We don't have to build any new measures or any. This is a cool one. We don't have to build any new measures or new columns, right? We've already built the columns we need. Okay. So what we want to do now, I got to open this up because I forget. No, that's not the right one. I forget the charts we want to create. So let me refresh my memory. Whoop, what am I doing? See, I'm getting tired. Here we go. Okay, we got that built, right? All right, so now these are the visualizations we're going to create. So maybe what I'd do is I'd put these in the chat. So we know we have them. These are and we can build more too. The cool thing about this is you can always figure out new where's my Zoom? There it is. So I put the queries or the visualizations we're going to do, and I'll have that right there. I can have that on top, and then I can scroll through it. So the first thing we want to do is a multi-role card, and once you decide what you want, don't overthink it. You want a multi-role card, so you got to find the multi-role card, right? And then click, right? Of course, I put the hardest ones first. We want the average, median, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum of what?
Sale price.
And the sale price we want to use is in the sales table, right? We want to use the main sales table. So you want to down click that and then click sales ID, or no, sorry, not sale ID, sale price. Okay, and there's our sale price, right? But we're going to change it to average. And now how do we get the standard deviation?
Drag another sale price in,
Yep.
and then change it to SD.
You got it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just drag them all up there. Okay, so this one is median. This one's going to be standard deviation. This one's going to be the minimum. And this one's going to be the maximum. Okay. And I'm going to skinny it up so it's one column. See that? I'm going to skinny it up. All right. So our average sale price, that's pretty good, $462,000. Not bad, right? Median is only $372. When you're doing dollar valued variables, you get a skew in it, right? Because there's a few properties that the ultra rich own, right? And there's not very many of those, and those skew the average. Okay, the next one is a multi-row card for what? List price, right? So it's the same thing. So again, we're going to do the list price, and list price is in the property table, right? See that, list price? And again, you just drag, what, 5 in there? This is really easy to do. Once you get good at Power BI Desktop, you're going to really impress people, seriously. So we're going to do the average. You can't do this with a measure. You can't do this with a measure. Basically, if you have a measure, it's basically doing the sum, right? And then we want the median. And then we want the standard deviation. Then we want the minimum.
Min.
And then we want the maximum. Cool. All right. So that's good. Next one. We want to stack bar chart. So what you have to do is just stack bar chart, right? Sell price by agent's last name. So we're going to click on this one. And we're going to move it over here. And we're going to have to widen it up a little bit. We can always adjust it later. Now, what do you want on this one? Sale price by agent's last name, right? Now, go back to your model real quick. Sale price kind of shows up a couple of different places, right? You want sale price by agent's last name. Well, you have the agent's last name here, right? Do you want to use this agent's commission last name, or do you want to use the agent's last name up here? Remember, this is a many to a many. Month sold to month sold. If you choose this last name and that sale price, it's going to look funky, right? You want the many to one, right? You want last name here and sale price here. So you want the agents table and the sales table. Y'all see that? Let me show you why you want that. If we pick the wrong table, so we want the sales table, and if we go to the agent commissions table and we click last name, and then we click sale price down here, it's not going to look right. Because these two tables are connected by month sold, right? So we want to use the agents table. These are connected by agent ID, which is different, right? There you go. See that? You have it?
You have first name, by the way.
Oh, I do. Oh, crap.
I was like, crap, I don't have that same name. Oh, wait.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can still do this, but in an hour, I might be doing this.
I have some really good visualizations.
Okay, so now we want to do the same thing, but now we want to do sale price by office name, right? Sale price by office name. So you want to go back here. So sale price goes through property table, through the list table to the office name, right? To the office table. So you want to use sales price and office, or sales table and office, right? So over here you want to minimize that, and you want to maximize office. And you can't build a visualization unless they're connected, right? So if this wasn't connected to that, or this wasn't connected to that, or this wasn't connected to that, you couldn't build this visualization. So you sell price to office name, they have to be connected. See that? So we want office expanded and we want sale expanded. Oh, okay. I want to click off. I want to click on the canvas area, right? So I want to click the same chart. What was this? Okay, I want to click the same chart. Okay, this time I want to do sale price and office name. Okay. And notice it automatically does the sorting for you, right? You may want to make it wider so you can read more of the name of the office. There you go. You can tell that's downtown Salt Lake City and this is Sugar House, right? And if we widen that one, we might as well widen this one, right? I'm kind of, retentive. It kind of does a PowerPoint thing where it lines you up to make it look really nice and professional. Now we want to do a map chart, right? So we want to do a map chart. So now we're going to click on the map. And I'm going to move it. I'm going to put it down here. Might have to lower it. There you go. Okay. Then I'm going to do a map chart with sale price and zip code. Now this one's well, the only place we have zip code is in the property table, right? Is the property table and the sales table connected? Are they connected? Yeah, sales table is connected to the property table via property ID, right? So we can get the zip code and we can get the sale price. So we're going to click on zip code. And because its data type is text, PowerBI Desktop knows that it's a location, a zip code location, and then sale price. Pretty cool, huh? We got offices in Denver, Vegas, and St. George. Okay, now we need to do a stack column chart. Stack column chart. Make sure you click on the white area once, and then click stack column chart. I'll put it down here. And then I'll widen it out. Now here on this one, we want owner portion of sale price by seller's last name. I'm going to make this one long because this is a big table, right? Owner portion of sale price by last name of seller, right? So let's go back to our chart here. We need the owner's, owner portion of price. So last name, but this is connected to what? That's months sold, right? We don't want to use, well, I guess we have to. Oh, we have the owner price here. We only need one table. We have the last name and the owner price. We only have one table here. So we definitely want to use owner portion of price, right? So on this one, we want to maximize owner portion of price and then minimize everything else. And we got the last name and the owner price. See that it gives you the owner, it gives you your biggest customer, right? So who do you want to invite to the Jazz game? You want to invite
Roland Ross.
You want to invite, what is that, Pence and Clark, or do you want to invite Troll and Ross? You want to invite those two guys, right? Okay, then we're going to do a stock column chart for agent commission. So this is going to be agent commission. So if I open up the agent commission chart, I got the last name of the agent and I got the commission, right? I think instead of doing a stack column chart, I'm going to do another stack bar chart. I'm going to do it right here. I'm kind of running out of room. So what I might have to do is I might have to shrink these. Okay, so I'm gonna call an audible here and choose that instead. So now I want to get the agent's commission, right? The capital C commission and their last name. And who do you want to take the Jazz game? You're the owner of the company. You want to take Rain to the company or to the Jazz game? Or do you want to take Ramiro and Wilkins? You want to take Ramiro and Wilkins, right? Now Now we're going to create a slicer for month sold. It'll end up being over here. We're going to do a slicer per month sold. And then we'll click it in the sales table, month sold. So we can look at April. So remember, the sales table is connected to all these tables, right? So it's going to affect all these tables.
So when you add the month sold, is this just 1 year of data?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The company just started, maybe, right?
Yeah.
In the future, you'd want to have like probably date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it would group like April across multiple years, correct?
Yeah. It would do a, well, then you could do seasonal effects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you could have a year column, right?
Yeah.
So you could have a year slicer and a month slicer.
Yep.
Right? That'd be pretty cool. Is there any other slicers we can create? I mean, any other thing? Oh, we could do, is there anything else we can do? And we could do some employee stuff. Property ID, agent.
And
We
it
could
looks
do-
like
We could do
like
state.
we already have like the office name. So it looks like if you click on office, it already kind of slices the data for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we really need, I mean, we could do a,
How about, would contract ID be something that would be important to
that's
slice?
contact ID. I don't know if that would be.
Oh, contact. No, I thought it was contract. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, yeah, that's just contact ID because you need a contact phone number for somebody. Yeah, if you have two owners, right? So I'm not really, I mean, other than,
How about property ID?
well, property ID is, you wouldn't want that because that'd be a big slicer because there's
Okay.
like thousands of properties, right? You could do a slicer on state. Whoops. Oh, crap. But you just click that back. Is there any place to click? You could do a slicer on state. Whoop. Ah, crap. I can't get that.
You're missing Colorado.
Yeah. I think I clicked on something. Oh, February. So if you want to undo there you go. So now you have it, right? So you do Utah only, Nevada only. And then you could do Murray. Oh, there's a Murray, Nevada, huh? Then you could do Colorado. Well, that's weird. A Salt Lake City property shows up there. Oh, that's probably because maybe the sale occurred, it was probably listed in the Salt Lake. Maybe it was listed in the Salt Lake office. I don't know why. That's weird. Probably a student messed that up, right? We'll blame it on a student.
Data entry. It's always a problem.
Yeah. So far, we've noticed a couple of those, right? I don't think there's anything else to do here, right? Cool. So you've gotten a Power BI desktop model that goes wide with this one, and you got one that went long, right? A complex model goes wider. A less complex model is more of probably a stacking one, right?
Could you do one for sales by office?
Oh yeah, we could do. Well, the thing about that is you can just use this as your slicer.
Oh, okay, so it
You
do
can just
sales
keep
by
track of
office,
it.
okay.
You can slice by clicking on bars.
But would it say how much okay, so the office, okay, if you do it by office, then it tells you how much that office produced, okay.
You may want to do total here too. Whoops. We could do total here too. Yeah, we could do drop down so we get more compact. And then we could do the total. So we could bring list price in here to a total, so we know the gross, right? So that way we know the gross. Maybe I'll put this over here. I'll put it in the blank area. So then I can make this longer. Yeah, we want to know the gross. So let's do that here too. So that's sale price. There we go. So now we know the gross for the office too. That's pretty good, I think, right? And then we got the drop down menu for February or all. And then we can do it by state. Cool. Awesome.